"I've never seen such an awesome man." He just glanced at the old root, transformed him into a home suitable for long-term living. There is not only a spacious activity space inside, all kinds of living facilities are also readily available, just not too cool. This is a young man full of vitality, Difa, walking alone into the forest to survive. Apparently this kid is very lucky. I encountered a huge cloud mountain that had been uprooted. After taking a closer look at his construction, Difa felt that this was a building shelter, the natural architecture of the sanctuary, so he decided to build on this, open up a safe haven to hide. The first step is to start clearing away these obstructing branches. Fortunately, he was prepared. He wields the axe skillfully, cut off those messy branches one by one. The axe is particularly useful in this scene. With these counties dry firewood for at least the next 2.5 days. You don't have to worry about finding firewood anymore. Wait until the branches are completely gone from the trunk. Difa began to repair this old cloud mountain. Although the surface bark has eroded over time, long since decayed, fortunately, the wood is still delicate and hard, accompanied by bursts of crisp sounds. The wooden parts are slowly split by the axe, layer by layer. The upward part of the trunk gradually flattens out. Soon he got one solid wood bed, away from the ground. The size is just right. Living on it for 2.5 years is not afraid of rheumatism. And Difa used a stick as a handle, assembled the ancestral hand drill, and then it's in the planned position of the trunk. The idea opened their eyes. It is convenient for subsequent quick installation and construction. As for the construction materials, Difa pays attention to an environmentally friendly and practical. He looked at the bent junk. Since the small tree cannot stand upright, the material can only be under his pair of bridges. Transform, become an important part of the shelter. Although these wooden slats look unattractive, but they are both quite resilient. Plus the naturally curved curvature within itself. They're made to fit into these rings. Then he went to collect cloud mountains non-stop. Summer branches, carefully organized by Difa. You get a bunch of clean, neat wooden slats. Next, Difa is like a careful craftsman. Start around the 2 rings installed before. Concentrate on building the walls of the shelter. He is not only skilled, every movement seems so natural and smooth. At a glance, you can see that you usually brush wilderness construction a lot. When the last piece of wood is firmly tied, a knot, a real and beautiful sanctuary is finally released. Aside from the appearance of promotion and wealth, there is absolutely nothing to say about its firmness. However, Difa felt that this big hole looked flustered, so they went back to fine-grained design. He first intercepted a pile of thin wooden sticks, then it is cleverly tied and fixed with hemp rope. After some tossing, the opening of the sanctuary has been cleverly shrunk. The whole structure looks more stable and silky. Now, all I need is a gate that can hold the yard. Then do the same. First, draw a circle according to the door frame. Another wave of wooden sticks splicing big rings. A door that is both practical and beautiful. And it was born. Finally, just install it. The whole structure of the shelter is done. So back and forth. The overall appearance has also been improved by a level. And Difa found a pool. The water is strewn with animal tracks. And expect a lot of aged mud. It exudes an ancient and mysterious atmosphere. This just happens to collect some back. To decorate the shelter, it can block those leaking walls. It adds a unique flavor to the sanctuary. You need to add some licorice to it before use. Wrap it up. After that, you can wrap in the upper field as much as you like, until they are fully integrated. Difa started his renovation. Spread the clay evenly on the wall. Those gaps that were originally leaking air were filled one by one. Under his skillful hands, surfaces become smooth and textured. Due to the integration of hay into the clay, this makes the walls extra tough and less prone to cracking. No matter the wind or rain, it can withstand perfectly. The whole process is about a silky smooth immersion decompression. At this time, Zhao Wo has already issued the warmth of home to bring him closer to nature. But Difa with obsessive-compulsive disorder always feels that there is something missing. Difa's eyes fell on the decaying tree. Fiend, exactly. It's these green moss on the trunk. For this gift from nature, Difa gently peels them off, prepare to invite them to come and clothe the shelter. Then the moss collected, one by one transplanted to the wall of the shelter. Through his meticulous design and arrangement, not only does it add to the sanctuary, unique natural atmosphere, It can also effectively prevent the loss of water and soil. And then we put in an observation window. So now everything is ready. Next, just check in with your bag directly. Although only one person can enter the cave, but the interior space is very rich. It's not a problem to accommodate 3 or 5 people at all. However, in the mountains and forests, the temperature difference between day and night is relatively large. Installing a warm fireplace is especially important. Fortunately, Difa has long been familiar with this. It is called a handy one to install. Tired. My stomach has been singing empty city plans all day. Difa decided to try his luck in the woods. Find something delicious to treat yourself. Don't tell me. This kid is really lucky today. Fat mushrooms in front of me. It is undoubtedly a delicacy bestowed upon him by God. Difa returned to the shelter with a full load. Immediately, the fire was quickly raised. Forgetfulness by fire. He first cut the pumpkin to remove the flesh. Here comes a heart-to-heart treatment. Then start cooking oil. A glass knife that uses the prepared ingredients. Wait until the ingredients are stir-fried until half cooked. Then pour in the full amount of milk. Pour it all into the pumpkin. Then cover it and wrap it tightly with tinfoil. Finally, put it in the charcoal fire and continue to simmer. This will ensure that the mushrooms are thoroughly cooked. Make the pumpkin sweet. Blend fully with the deliciousness of mushrooms. Make a delicious meal. After a sumptuous dinner, Difa filled the fireplace with dry wood. Carve a jack-o'-lantern out of the leftover pumpkin. Gently place next to the fireplace. Firelight jump. Not only did it warm the entire sanctuary, also for this quiet night, covered with a warm and mysterious layer of charmin,